No Fate channel checking in. On today's episode of Daddy Daycare, I'm giving you dads dental tips for your children. I am dedicated to helping you dads be great parents to your kids and still accomplish your own personal goals. Today I'm talking about a boring topic, dental tips for your kids. I know it's boring, but we got to go over it because of a couple reasons. One, having good dental practices with your kids is going to save you time and money. And two, most importantly, instilling those good practices with your kids is going to carry through when your kids are older, when they've left the nest. And trust me, good dental hygiene is super, super boring, but it's also super, super important. Let's quickly go through this boring topic, get through it, and hopefully give you some key takeaways to instill on your kids and improve their dental hygiene. Now, full disclosure, by no means am I a dentist whatsoever. These are just the things that I've done with my child and what I will do with my daughter when she actually gets her teeth in. And hopefully they've helped me out right up to this point, and hopefully they're going to help you out going forward. First and foremost, you want to be brushing your kids' teeth. It seems obvious. You want to brush your kids' teeth after breakfast and after dinner. And ideally, if you have time or if you send your kid off to daycare, they should be doing this. You want to brush your kids' teeth after lunch too. The idea is you want to make sure that that food is not sticking into their teeth, causing plaque, causing cavities. And again, just basically brushing post-meal. That's ideal. So let's talk about what your kids drink. Obviously, if your kids are young like mine, they're still drinking milk, and that is great. Milk is a great, protein source. It's a great calorie source. It's just a great product all around. But you don't want your kids drinking milk all day long. The reason is if they drink milk all day long, the milk has sugars. That milk will stay on their teeth. Those sugars will eventually give your kids cavities. Ideally, you want your kids to drink milk at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That will limit their exposure to the milk. They'll still get plenty of milk in, but they won't be sipping on it all day long. And then, as I just mentioned in the previous tip, you're going to then brush their teeth after breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So when your kids aren't drinking milk, they should be drinking water, okay? Ideally, they should be drinking water from an open cup rather than a sippy cup. If your kids are young, they have to use a sippy cup. I understand that. But if they're old enough to drink from an open cup, let them drink from an open cup. Not only is it going to teach them how to use an open cup, secondly, the water in the open cup will actually help clean their teeth. Believe it or not, it'll help rinse whatever food is left over or whatever snack they just had, kind of helps rinse their teeth. And it's a good way, again, to keep that food, keep those sugars off your kids' teeth and give them just better gum and teeth health. They should not be drinking juices, okay? You should know this, that they shouldn't drink juices or sodas. They're extremely horrible for your kids in terms of high glycemic index, in terms of having sugar just sit on their teeth all day long and again, give them cavities. And most importantly, it's not good for their diet. If you want to give them something sweet, give them whole food sources because those foods are going to digest slower and it is going to be better for your kids' health. It's better for your kids' teeth, and it's probably going to be better for your kids' weight management in the long run as well. Last two quick things. Number one, and this is self-explanatory, when your kid's toothbrush bristle heads look worn, replace it. It's not as effective. You need to get them a new toothbrush. And two, floss your kid's teeth. That's probably the hardest one, okay? My kid hates to have his teeth flossed, and I hate to floss his teeth, but we do it anyway because it's so important. You want to break up that food and that plaque between the teeth, especially where two teeth might be touching. Those are definitely going to be spots that will potentially grow cavities if you're not careful and if you're not flossing. Again, floss your teeth. I mean, I asked my mother how she flossed my teeth when I was younger. She never did, okay? 30 years ago, they didn't know any better. But now we know we should be flossing the teeth at least once a day. Probably the best time to do it is at night. Again, post-dinner, and floss before you brush. Ideally, you want to floss first and then brush because you're going to loosen up that plaque, loosen up that food that's stored between the teeth following a meal. And then you brush after you floss to, again, remove whatever residue is there and get it off those teeth. I know those tips were boring and I know it comes off as very, very preachy, but trust me, you want to instill those great dental hygiene practices with your kids. Not only is it going to save you money from not having to pay for cavities and other dental problems with your kids, it's more importantly going to instill those dental practices with your kids so that they can then make the right decisions going down the road when they're older, when you're not able to watch them as closely as you are now in their younger years. Trust me, you Give them the good dental practices now, and hopefully it'll carry through with them the rest of their lives. If you've come this far in the video, you know what to do. Give it a like, hit that subscribe button, brush and floss your kids' teeth. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. I am dedicated to helping you dads be great parents to your children and still accomplish your own personal goals. I post tips and tricks to save you dads time, energy, and money. 3 things that are in short supply for every dad out there.